The Supreme Court has ruled that the House impeachment complaint versus VP Sara Duterte is barred by the one-year rule, and that due process or fairness applies during all stages of the impeachment process. I quote, "Our fundamental law is clear. The end does not justify the means." Another quote, "There is a right way to do the right things at the right time. This is what the rule of just law means. This is what fairness or due process of law means, even for impeachment." End of quote. In a unanimous decision today, July 25, 2025, the Supreme Court en banc declared the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte unconstitutional, noting that it is barred by the one-year rule under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5 of the Constitution, and that it violates the right to due process enshrined in the Bill of Rights. Therefore, the Senate could not acquire jurisdiction over the impeachment proceedings. However, the court said it is not absolving Vice President Duterte from any of the charges against her. But any subsequent impeachment complaint may only be filed starting February 6, 2026. The case stemmed from 4 impeachment complaints against Vice President Duterte. The first 3 were filed before the House by private individuals and different groups on December 2, 4, and 19 in 2024. A 4th complaint was lodged by a resolution approved by more than 1/3 of the House members of the 19th Congress on February 5, 2025, which was transmitted as the Articles of Impeachment to the Senate on the same day. This was followed by 2 petitions filed before the Supreme Court challenging its constitutionality. The Supreme Court decision written by Senior Associate Justice Marvic M.V.F. Leonen ruled that all legal issues involving impeachment proceedings are subject to judicial review, considering the nature of the offices and the institutions that are subject to impeachment, its effect on the independence of constitutional departments and organs, and its nature as a constitutional process. The impeachment process is primarily a legal and constitutional procedure, but with political characteristics. It may be sui generis, but it is not a purely political proceeding. This means that the Bill of Rights, especially the Due Process Clause and the right to speedy disposition of cases, applies to the entire impeachment process, it said. Although the court does not determine whether an impeachable officer may be removed or disqualified from political office, it emphasized that it has the duty to construe the process mandated in the Constitution. In declaring that the articles of impeachment were barred by the one-year rule, the decision differentiated the first 3 complaints from the 4th complaint. The first 3, it said, were filed under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution, which allows any citizen to file a verified complaint with an endorsement by any House member. The 4th one was through Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 4 of the Constitution, through a verified complaint or resolution filed by at least 1/3 of the House members. The court took note that the House and the 19th Congress did not act on the first 3 endorsed complaints, which were considered terminated or dismissed upon adjournment of the House. The 3 impeachment complaints were archived and therefore deemed terminated or dismissed on February 5, 2025. Therefore, no new impeachment complaint, if any, may be commenced earlier than February 6, 2026, the Supreme Court held. Under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5 of the Constitution, no impeachment proceedings shall be initiated against the same official more than once within a period of 1 year. According to the decision, the 1-year bar is reckoned from the time an impeachment complaint is dismissed or is no longer viable. A key issue in the petitions is whether the House complied with the 10-session day requirement under the Constitution for including a verified impeachment complaint in the order of business of the House. the court ruled that the House was able to comply with the requirement by putting the 3 endorsed impeachment complaints in the order of business of the House of Representatives, since a session day is not equivalent to a calendar day.
Supreme Court made that decision or not, the impeachment court will proceed. Will proceed. And I'm sure someone will raise it during the impeachment proceedings. For sure, someone will raise it. Diba? So, but we are sui generis ang impeachment court. So, we will proceed. So, these are all questions that will be raised, diba? With the decision of the Supreme Court. Will the impeachment court submit to the decision of the Supreme Court?
Merong nag-a-advise sa akin na pwede raw namin i-disregard, pwedeng i-disregard ng Senate yung Supreme Court decision. Because it tramples over the work of the Senate na kahiwalay. Separate body kami. So, yung advice na yun, pag-aaralan ko muna bago ako mag-comment.
Pala ako na dapat matuloy yung impeachment trial. Yung mandato, tungkulin at kapangyarihan na nakasaad sa saligang batas ay nasa Senado at walang iba. Handa na kaming dinggin ang lahat ng ebidensya para makapagdesisyon ng patas bilang mga hukom, kaya dapat ituloy na yung impeachment trial.
Nadidisturb yung kaluluwa ko. Nakakadismaya talaga na may lumabas talagang ganong desisyon na hinahadlangan yung pagganap ng Senado ng tungkulin na solo sa amin inaatas ng konstitusyon, solo sa Senado, ay hahadlangan ng Korte Suprema, pinakamataas na korte, sa ibang pantay, no? Pero hiwalay na branch of government. At marami po kaming disturbing questions tungkol sa desisyong iyon. Halimbawa, kumpara sa sinabi na dati ng Korte Suprema, bakit nila sasabihin na labag yung 1-year bar rule? Samantalang sa pagkaalam at intindi namin, iisa lang namang complaint ang inaksyonan ng House at tinransmit sa amin sa Senado para upuan yan na impeachment trial court. Tapos parang ang dami pang idinagdag na requirements ng desisyon kahit para sa mga future na impeachment trials.
May patnubay ng Holy Spirit siya, katulad lang ng paglalabas ng pasya ng SC na unconstitutional ito.
Magkakaroon ng constitutional crisis kung gagawin nila yan. Sa akin, hindi na dapat gawin. At ang Korte Suprema ang siyang magpapasya sa lahat na isyong constitutional.
Not vindication for anyone. This is not exoneration. Walang naburang kasalanan. Walang nalinis na pangalan. Teknikal ang desisyon. Ang mga alegasyon ay nananatiling totoo, malubha, at hindi pa nasasagot. Hindi tayo dapat masanay sa mga leader na hindi napapanagot. Hindi pa tapos ang laban.
Ang hirap talagang magpanagot ng korap sa Pilipinas. Magiging legal basis ang desisyon na ito para sa matagal ng kagustuhan ng Malacanang at Senado na huwag nang ituloy yung impeachment trial. Gayunpaman, hindi dapat magbunyi si Vice Presidente dahil hindi tatantanan ng mamamayan ang pagpapanagot sa pagkawaldas ng confidential funds.
Nireduce ng Supreme Court ang kanyang sarili bilang Supreme Coddler of the Philippines. The dismissal of the impeachment sets a dangerous precedent